Hey, I may need you to turn your sound down.
Oh, you can hear that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. What about now? Can you hear?
Yeah.
Better?
Hold on. Okay. I forgot I had to mute my YouTube. What's going on, folks? People signing in. I know it's going to be a slow process because I'm finally back on the map. Okay. What did I do with that intro? What's going on, people? What's going on? I see y'all logging in. What's going on? I had to take a state paid vacation. I was put in YouTube jail for a few minutes because I said some stuff that I knew I wasn't supposed to say. You know, they have certain words that they don't want you to say, certain subjects they don't want you to talk about, being that it's the truth and they don't want to mess up their agenda. So please forgive me for taking that unforeseen vacation from you guys. I know I was probably getting cussed out. I hadn't even checked my YouTube text or anything like that. People are probably cussing me out because they think I gave out some information and disappeared. No, I didn't disappear. I used that time to do a little bit more research on getting my own servers and my own website. Still may do that, even though there are some things that's going to happen. Everybody's expecting the EBS to come up, the emergency broadcast. And when it does happen, I don't like that. It's on this side. All right. I'm just trying to line everything up because the last time I was live was a couple of weeks ago. So I had everything put up. Yes, I am back. Let me start highlighting some folks here. We're going to let some more folks chime in first before we get on with the show. Welcome to Money Mondays. This is the day that I'm going to start featuring businesses. If you have a small business, I don't care what race you are, as long as it's tasteful, I don't mind. I will put it on here. You know, if it's not tasteful, maybe I'll do a Black Pill After Dark or something like that, so you can put some stuff out. Thank you. I should say welcome back to you guys. I know y'all probably getting tired of me anyway, so I gave y'all a week break away from me, but I'm about to go hard now because I believe some things are about to happen. I think I have at least a week and a half to 2 weeks before the hammer or the gavel is struck. Look at this. Wash your hands. That means hit that live button if y'all don't mind. Got that from Miss Amina. She said you wipe your feet when you come in the house, but I'm not gonna steal her stuff. That's her stuff there. I'm not gonna do that. But do me a favor. If you don't mind, tap that like button for me. Share the link if you can. Click on that little arrow and share it with some friends who might need to watch this. Please forgive me for doing this. I need to test something real quick. Okay. You guys heard that, right? Yeah. Hey, Perry. Yeah. Perry's my boy. That me and Perry go back a long way. Little league football. Man. Uh, did y'all hear that? The sound effects. Let me see if I can throw something else out here for you. Yeah, I forgot to test my Stream Deck. You know, when you suspend it, you tend to move things around, and I didn't want to move things around, but I was forced to do so on my state paid vacation. Okay, I got about 6 minutes in. Let me get a couple more minutes in before. Okay. Now, one thing about my eCam, on my eCam, it would actually show me what my count is and how many people are logged in. But I'm on StreamYard, so thank you, appreciate you welcoming me back. I hate the fact that I was gone because of all the information that was coming out. I think I'm gonna start next week, and I'm gonna start doing some hard stuff, some good stuff. I'm gonna start talking a little bit more about this movie because I think it's about to come to an end. So I'll take the risk. I don't care. Even though I'm not being monetized. Ever since I started, I haven't been paid. So I don't expect myself to get paid. And so none of my shows and nothing that I've done, Lonesome Dove, how you doing? None of the stuff that I've done, it's been demonetized. I haven't been monetized. So that's why I did what I did last week, just to see how fast they would do it, to see if they were actually watching me. And they are. They are watching me. So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and get this stuff started here. Actually, I had some pre-show stuff that I wanted to do, but I'm gonna scrap that because the folders moved, and I didn't. When I clicked on it, that wasn't the folder I was looking for. I had some pre-stuff set up for last week, and that was moved. So that's okay because I'm not gonna be here that long tonight. This is just the first show out of the shows to get things going. Still waiting on the letter. Yeah, there's some people out there still waiting, but we're going to get into that later. With this being Money Mondays, we're going to talk a dab about that, and I also want to talk about some other things too, especially dealing with the crypto stuff. That I know everybody have questions about that, and so I want to touch on that real quick. I don't even know if John is going to be on or not. He knows that I'm live tonight, so I'm not sure if he's going to be on or not. But oh, someone got a letter yesterday. You got a letter yesterday. More than likely, it probably said you didn't have anything, which is what we expect. We expect that because everyone that has gotten a letter has said the same thing. Now, how your letter is dictated to you, it's usually different. Because mine was very cordial. Hey, thank you for your inquiry. But the other ones, some of them got some irate ones. But let me go ahead and get into this intro real quick. And let me get into this intro. And after the intro, I'm going to go ahead and bring in my guest. All right. What is going on, people? Money Mondays. Money Mondays. like I said, this is the day that I'm going to feature some of you guys. All right, some of you guys are going to be the feature on that day. But with today, we're going to start with a friend of mine. And hold on, let me get caught up over here with her intro. Okay, I thought I had her folder up, but that's how stuff happens when you out of practice. I had yeah, here it is. Now, just to give you just a brief description, a brief description of who I'm bringing up is Dhuwanna Intuitive Healings. Okay. Now she mother of 3 kids, husband, and what she does is intuitive healing. This is healings for the mind, body, and soul. Now she does have one specialty that she does is she also specializes in healing by numbers. And a lot of people are curious about what that is. And she's going to come on here to explain it to you. Now, that's one of them. Now, she does other businesses, but this is one of her specialties because she blew my mind when she started bringing up numbers. When I would tell her numbers that I would see, she was able to bring those numbers up, look at them, and tell me what those numbers represented. And it shocked me because everything she described pretty much was a definition of who I am. All right. But everybody, let me, where is my, oh, hold on just a sec. Okay. No, I was just checking something out. Anyway, everybody, join me in welcoming Miss Dhuwanna Whittington with Dhuwanna Intuitive Healing. Uh-oh, something happening. I'm trying to bring you up. It's not coming up. Oh, there it is.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Let me turn it down a little bit.
Hello, everyone.
Everyone say hi, say hi, say hi.
Oh, it's nice to see you guys. And thank you for coming. And thank you for having me as a guest tonight, Joe. I really appreciate you.
Oh,
And
no,
I
I
just want to
appreciate
say,
you.
yes, you are truly a
Hmm.
servant leader. So thank you.
Hmm. But go ahead. I interrupted you. You were going to say.
You have a want to go. But go ahead.
Okay. Oh no. Okay. Because I had to pull the questions up and everything like that. So, other than that, why don't you do us a favor and just give us just a broad-based definition of what Dhuwanna Intuitive Healing is?
Certainly. Thank you
Hmm.
for asking. Okay, the one intuitive healing. So everybody have within themselves an origin to heal, right? We all have that power within us. The good book says, right? Christ consciousness tells us as well. We have the power to heal. You believe and you receive, and it can happen, right? So it's the same concept. So intuitive healing through a gift, it allows me to connect with other people in an empathic way. So I'm able to connect to them emotionally and mentally, right? And I'm able to sense the things that are blocking them in their emotional bodies, if that makes sense. So it's a wide spectrum when it comes to intuitive healing. So I do a number of things with intuitive healing. I can I can actually help heal the inner child. Right now, we're going through a huge transition, a huge shift where a lot of us need that healing so we can move forward to our life purpose, if that makes sense. So, numerology also helped with that as well. So, this is not to take place of the guidance of our universal source, right? The Most High. I know we have multiple religions here, so I'm not here to speak religion. It's more like spirituality. So, whatever you believe in, your higher power, your higher source, that's what you can use personally to assist yourself when it comes to intuitive healing. So, I assist people and I guide them through their own healing processes.
So you got them through there. So you teach them how to heal themselves without, like counseling or anything like that, how to
That's
tap
right.
into something that was already God given, right?
Right. And some counselors or psychologists that actually use the same methods that I use
Hmm.
for healing.
Yeah,
So
they
you
just charge an arm and leg for
That's right.
it.
And they make you sit on their couch multiple times before you
Hmm.
see any progress, and it's usually years later. And you
Right, and
probably still in the same situation. So,
that's like a practicing physician. They're going to practice because they want you to stay sick. All right, they want
right,
you to stay sick because I can't get any money from you if I heal you.
that's
But
correct.
but if I treat the ailment, just treat it with just a little bit, then you know, hey, I
Right,
can get you to come back next week and heal you just
mhm,
a little bit more over there. Oh, okay.
right.
Now, how long have you been doing this?
So I've actually been doing intuitive healing since 2019. I actually went through a shift myself, and I started listening to binaural frequencies
Mm-hmm.
because me personally, and everything that I speak of, I speak from personal experience, right?
Hmm.
So that's how I know it works. Myself and my husband, we were actually the first two candidates that actually go through this process.
Right,
Okay,
right.
because he's my right. So I'm sure you understand. He's my twin flame. So we went through a huge shift together.
Hmm.
And I was actually on medicine because I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. I also have a
Right.
twin sister, and so is she.
Hmm.
She actually now have her Reiki license too. So
Right.
this is not just something that I have. She also carried the gift as well. But with that being said, I shifted into a healing process where I've always known I had these gifts and I used them in various ways, but it was not on this scale, the
Right.
scale that I'm actually using them now globally on a massive level, if that
That
makes
was
sense.
actually leading into my next question. At what point in your life did you figure out or sense that you, I hate to say you were different, but you
Hmm.
sensed something special about yourself? I mean, was
Hmm.
it younger? Because you say you started in 2019, but
Yeah,
like,
I was a child.
did you have a
I was,
moment? Can you remember that moment when you had that red pill moment per se, if I use that moniker?
yes, I can say
Hmm.
so. I was raised in the church, right? So
Hmm.
I have a very religious background. And in the church sector, I was always told to not question God when I had questions about the church. So I was a kid. I was about probably 7 or 8, and I knew for a fact that I can speak to God's source myself. Okay, I'm not here to discourage anybody for their belief systems, but I knew
Hmm.
for a fact I could speak to God. I can hear Him myself. So through that process, even in school, I can read people. I knew what they were thinking, so it made me introverted, if that makes sense. So
Oh,
with
it makes a
certain
lot of sense.
things, right? With certain
Mhm.
things, I didn't have to experience because I knew the experience before it happened. So when people try to befriend me, I didn't want to be befriended. Certain places I didn't want to go. Certain things I didn't want to
Mhm.
do. It's just I knew people's emotions in their heart spaces.
It's
So
crazy. It's crazy because I can think of several moments for myself. I was an introvert also. And several, when I say several, I can think of several moments where I had deja vu moments,
mhm.
and I can recall them. And I can recall one time I was when I was on the police department, and I got a call. Lady lost her ring, and she needed to report it for her insurance company. And at that very moment, I remembered that dream. So as soon as I got there, I'm thinking, okay, I've never seen this address before, but I knew what the building looked like. So as soon as I got there, I'm like, that's the building over there, right? So I drove straight up to it, saw the car that was in my dream, and the lady came out and she met me, and I said, ma'am, before you even say anything, did you put lotion on your hands? And she said, yeah, yeah. How did you know that? I said, you put your ring down in your lap. And so you had two rings. I said, you put them both down in your lap and you forgot to grab them and put them out because when you got out of the car, they fell out of your lap underneath the car. I said, those rings are underneath your car. right? And sure enough, those rings were underneath her car. She started crying. She made me cry and all this other stuff. She thought I was a psychic. I said, no, I just had a deja vu moment, and I'm able to recall a lot of those moments. But I'm not special like you are. But at the same time, I always felt like I was a little different, just a little twisted in some kind of way. Sometimes I think, I'm just crazy in some ways, but at the same time, I accept my craziness. All right. So,
You know what? You are different, Joe.
yeah,
When I first
yeah.
met you, I knew you were
Mm.
different. And that's why
Oh,
we
yeah.
connect
Yeah,
on
I
a
told
deep
you.
level.
Now, I
Yeah,
got to ask you something about the family. Let's see. You got Turi, which is your husband,
that's right.
Tiara, Trinity, and Timothy, all these T's. Now,
I
let me see, how are they accepting the fact with all, with this, mama had these gifts, mama knowing I'm lying.
Well, I can say it could be a battle in the household sometimes, right? Because you just feel like
Mhm.
you can see right through them, right? And some
Right,
things
right.
I am blocked from, and I believe God source blocked me from things just to protect me,
Hmm.
because I don't need to know it right then and there. Because even though I have these gifts as my family members, they still have to go through their own life experiences. But I
Hmm.
still have those warnings, right, that I
Right.
can actually deliver to them. Now, whether or
Hmm.
not they take heed, right? I mean, it's up to them because
Right.
they still have free will and they still have to learn through their own experiences. But I would say initially, I've been with my husband almost 20 years.
Hmm.
And he actually, I met my husband right when I was really shifting into my prophetic gifts. I
Hmm.
actually had Christ consciousness following me. I was actually in jail. Okay. He
Yeah.
visited me in a dream and he revealed to me that I had the gift to heal. But
Hmm.
before that, when I was about 18 or 19, I started taking something for my bipolar disorder. I think it was trizodone. So
Hmm.
it actually expanded my third eye. And when I
Hmm.
started taking trizodone, that's when I had the experience you had. I
Hmm.
had a dream. I was actually with an ex-boy, well, at the time he was my boyfriend, and we were in two separate states. And I had a dream, and it was so weird. I can see that he was with someone else, so he was cheating on me, right?
Hmm.
And once I was in job corps, once I finished that process or that program, I went to live with him. And it was so, I mean, y'all, I was in my late teens, okay? You do crazy stuff in your late teens.
Oh yeah,
But
we always do. That's when you're making
right.
mistakes.
I was
Mhm.
living with him and he didn't come home. So something said, Dhuwanna. Like I knew where he was. And I've never been there before. I got in my car and I drove directly to that location, y'all. Knocked on the door and he was there. That's when
Mhm.
I knew for real, like I really had my gift and it was expanding. So I was about
Mhm.
19.
Let's see, that's how
22,
you know for real, for real. See, that's what black
I
folk,
knew
when you
for
know
real,
something's
for
real, you knew for real. Okay.
yeah, it was big facts. It was big facts.
Mhm.
And now I'm 40. I'm about to be 42. I'll be 42 in June. So this is a
Mhm.
long time ago.
Right.
And when I was 22, you guys, I was a rebel. Okay, I was living my best life as a young adult. Needless
Right.
to say, I ended up in jail over a marijuana charge. If that makes sense. I
Hmm.
didn't want to serve my probation, so I turned myself in after a few months because I just didn't want to pay, right? I didn't want to pay them any money. So I was like, I'll go sit it out. So I go sit it out and I find these group of people within the jail system. I was probably there for about 6 weeks, right? And they were doing Bible studies and stuff. So I was really reading the Bible. I was really meditating on the word, the precepts, line upon line, decree upon decree. And I just felt like God had put me there so I can be
Hmm.
still, right?
Yeah, I was getting
And
ready to say that. He told you,
right,
look, that's what I'm saying.
right,
We right here. I was getting ready to say that's that peace be still moment where
yes,
you wasn't listening, so he had to make you listen.
that's
And
right.
so I've had my moments too where I actually
Mhm,
had to be sat down and listen because
mhm,
my mind is hyperactive. My mind is hyperactive, and I think when I was born, it could have been ADD or whatever you want to call it. And when I was young, it wasn't nothing but just boy, sit your bad ass down somewhere, or something like that. That's
right,
what that was. And
right,
but me, I can't do one thing at one time. I'm always doing 4 or 5 things at one time. But
right.
continue. See, she a
Okay.
bad girl, so I gotta talk
I
to
was a
Turi and see.
rebel.
I gotta
Oh,
talk
they
to
say a
Turi and
rebel with no cause. I was a
see.
rebel with a cause, right? But Joe, I can
Uh-huh.
say a lot of people who have
Mhm.
ADD, right,
Mhm.
or dyslexia, because
Right. I
I was
did. I suffered
considered
from that.
both, and I had to
Hmm.
self-diagnose myself with dyslexia. And I
Hmm.
did understand after a while, those are usually people with gifts, okay?
Right.
They usually have some type of impacted gift, and they just need to just really focus on what that gift is, right? But it's
Hmm.
like levels to it. And
Right.
your gifts are usually exposed when it's time for them to be exposed, and they usually expand when it's time for them to expand, if that
Right.
makes sense, right?
Oh, it makes a lot of sense because I told you when
Mm-hmm.
we talked, I told you that I had dyslexia, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm self-taught as far as reading and everything like that. So I
Mm-hmm.
may sound like I know what I'm doing, but no, I actually have to be in a loud environment in order to focus on what I'm doing. Like when I write my screenplays, stuff like that, which I'll get into later, I actually have to be in a noisy environment. So sometimes I will go to the bar I hang out at and I'll sit in a corner somewhere and I'll write. And it forces me to, concentrate a little
Mm-hmm.
bit more on what I'm doing. As far as reading, same thing. I have to actually turn something on sometime, but I have to pay attention because I can get distracted by what I'm listening to on that as well. So,
That's
but other
right,
than
because
that,
it's right, because your subconscious mind is still going.
right.
And I
Hmm.
can say, when you ask how, me having a gift affects my household, I can say in a very positive way. It allowed me to recognize my 17-year-old actually have gifts
Hmm.
of an empathic person or an empathic healer, and especially when it comes to animals. And she was really struggling in elementary, and I would tell the teachers she has dyslexia, and they thought that she just had ADD and she was just all over
Right.
the place. But I knew she learned different, right? And it wasn't
Hmm.
teaching her in a way that she needed to be taught,
Hmm.
because she needs to move around. She, just sitting still for too long is too much. And the reason you need that noise, right, in the background, because a lot of times the music help, right?
Right.
I realized
Hmm.
when I was a teenager, when I would turn on the music to study and read, that was
Hmm.
the best way I could process and retain the information, if that makes
Right.
sense.
Right.
So
Because
what you say
what
makes
it
sense.
is, it's like your mind, you have all of these wires going like this, but when you have the music going, it focuses and brings everything up into one. And it makes you, focus in on what your mission is. And, and,
Exactly.
and it works with me. And I'm telling folks out there, if you knew that you were dyslexic, your child is dyslexic, it is not anything wrong with it. It's not. It's more common than what you think it is.
Hmm.
And it's just a lot of people fight with it. 'Cause I know I fought with it because really we didn't know. I'm 51, and so when I was coming
Yeah,
up
of
in
course you
school,
didn't know,
yeah, we
right?
thought I was just having problems seeing. I was telling my mom, when I was little, that the letters were jumping. I told them the letters
Mhm.
would move, and sometimes it looked differently than what everyone else is, and I would struggle with that going through school. And I got bored with school because I couldn't keep up because the letters, everything kept moving around. But if the teacher get up and recite it, it's like dead on. I can remember everything she said, word for word, verbatim. And
Very much
right,
so.
yeah, and
Hmm.
and that's how a lot of times I retain a lot of stuff is by listening to it. That's why when I tell folks, you send me videos, I watch every video, which I really do, because I retain more information watching those videos than I do reading a lot of long text or something like that, a long message or a long question or something like that. But let me get back into the questions though. Numerology. Can you explain the difference or the significance, I guess, with
Yeah.
numerology versus just regular healing? Is it a difference, or is it one's greater than the other, or is,
Hmm.
is it the
Okay,
same?
so I would say it works hand in hand, right?
Mhm.
Because as you start shifting, and you will get a lot of people will get to the point to where they have no choice but to heal.
Yeah,
Okay, you
right,
have no choice.
right. Hmm.
And once you start shifting into their awareness and their awakening of healing, you start seeing numbers like
Hmm.
1111, right? Because that's almost like a wake up call number. The 1111 is more or less a portal or a gateway, right? To let you know that there's
Right.
a higher calling for you. So I would say numerology is a tool, right? To assist
Hmm.
you on your journey. And anybody spiritual, they know exactly what I mean. When you see these numbers, you become aware, like 222, 333, but you can see them in sequences and patterns, right?
Hmm.
Um, my husband being my twin flame, I see his birthday and my birthday a lot together. And the more we heal, right, the more we're connected. Our souls are connected, right? Our spirits are connected. So their vibrational frequency is stronger. So I'm always seeing our birthdays together. And I actually met someone about 2 years ago. I just met her in real life like a month and a half ago. And she have a soul tie with me and my husband. She see our birthdays everywhere and connected along with her birthday. So that's how
Wait,
you know you have.
hold on. Let me. You said you met your friend 2 years ago, but you didn't physically meet her until a month ago. Like I said,
That's right.
explain that. Explain that.
She was actually, well, her name was actually Kalia, and she's in
Hmm.
Philadelphia. I'm in Austin, Texas. Okay.
Hmm.
So we had someone, his name is actually Kai, okay? And he was over Kai Soul Age. And some people may have heard of this group on
Hmm.
Facebook. And because he have a huge following of hundreds of thousands of people, okay?
Hmm.
And he was trying to create a team of spiritual coaches, all right? And at this time, because he was trying to focus on how can we create income producing activities with our gifts and not have
Hmm.
to work for other people. And at this time, that's when I had actually shifted into Dhuwanna Intuitive Healing, and I had created a YouTube channel. So he
Hmm.
sorted me out with other groups of people who actually had gifts, and we all came together. And Kalia was like the orchestrator. She's a master builder, okay?
Hmm.
And her being a master builder, she works with music too, and music help her build things. It's just truly amazing. Like she see the notes and the numbers. I mean, she's just you know how I say iron sharpens iron.
Right.
She's
Right.
like that
Hmm.
person. Okay, so we came together on a spiritual coaching platform. She helped build the platform, the websites, and I just continued to work with Kalia.
Hmm.
So as I did multiple income producing activities outside of the spiritual coaching platform, Khalil was just always there and we were always working together. So I ended up shifting into the Forex market, right? The Forex
Right.
trading market. Um, and through that process, we have conferences and we had one in Atlanta. So
Hmm.
Khalil and myself, we finally got to meet in Atlanta doing this conference.
Hmm.
So it was just like almost 2 years later, we finally met. And the most amazing thing is when you meet somebody that's a part of your assignment, right?
Hmm.
And they're in alignment and they're part of your soul tribe.
It's like
When
you
you
met a
meet
long
them,
time ago.
yeah,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like you and I,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, folks, we're sitting with Dhuwanna Intuitive Healing, Dhuwanna Whittington. She has a healing. I don't even want to call it a business. It's a calling, and and it's she helps heal you from within. I mean, you can have scars on the outside, I can hear, but sometimes those emotional scars are deeper than a regular cut on your skin, and some people need help getting through those scars. And Dhuwanna Intuitive Healings help you get through those scars. Uh, Now, can you explain to me the the relations between spirituality and numbers? Is there relations with that spiritual side to numbers, or
Very much so.
is?
Yes. So numbers actually have a vibrational frequency. Like for instance, my name Dhuwanna. It has a vibrational frequency, just like my birthday, right? So
Mhm.
if you calculate all the numbers in your birthday, you will actually come up with your life path number. Some numbers actually have to be reduced or simplified to a single digit because there are master numbers that are not supposed to be reduced. Okay.
Right.
And those master numbers are a higher calling to a certain extent, if that makes sense. But for instance, my life path number is number 5. Okay. So my mom life path number is number 5, and so is my twin sister. And so that's 555. And forever I was trying to figure out why are we moving so much? And it's just amazing, right? It took me 41 to find out my mom, she actually was a life path number 5 because I finally did her birthday and I broke it down. And I said that's why we move so much, because 5 actually means change. It actually means freedom, but positive change. So you're gonna always expect something to change in your life. There's always gonna be some type of forward movement, right?
Right. Hmm.
So one of the downsides, because there's an upside and a downside to each characteristics of a number. There's a higher and a lower vibrational frequency. Each number has a vibrational frequency, just like the letters, right?
But I'm gonna cut
So,
you off. I'm gonna cut you off
mhm,
because if people want to know more about that, they're gonna have to tune into your channel to get the rest of that.
that
So I'm not
works.
gonna spoil them. I don't want to spoil them with everything over
Don't give
here.
them too much,
Yeah, I don't
Joe.
want to
Don't
give
give
them
them
too
too
much
much.
because they're gonna have to log in. If you can, when y'all get a chance, if y'all can jump over to her page, and I'll go ahead and post it in the chat where her page is. But I'm gonna throw another question at her. But I don't want you to give too much. So forgive me for
Go
cutting you
for
off.
it, Joe.
But I want to send them to your page so that they can find out more information because she breaks things down on her page. I mean, all the way down to its finite moment of some explanations. So the next question I have for you is uh, how old were you when you were exposed to numerology? When did you figure out? Because you knew you had a gift, but how
Right.
did you determine that numbers
Hmm.
was the speciality?
Okay. I actually had my last child, which was my only son.
Hmm.
I was actually about 30, and I wanted to know what my name meant. And when I searched my name, all of a sudden, that's when I realized those letters were attached to numbers, right?
Hmm.
And that's when I learned the numbers had vibrational frequencies. So I was about 30, 31 years old. But before that, I was really into astrology. I was really into like the signs of the characteristics of the zodiac signs.
Uh-huh.
People had tried to gift. I had two people try to gift me card decks for readings, and I was like, no, because I was raised in church, but this stuff just kept coming to me. And then after a while, I just realized you can't run from who you are. So.
Right. Like I said, everything happens for a reason.
Mhm.
Now, for them to find you on YouTube, it's just straight Dhuwanna Intuitive Healing. Am I correct on that?
You're
Yeah.
correct.
You know what? I think I misspelled. No, I didn't misspell it. I put a capital H there. It should be a lowercase h. Uh, but it was amazing when we had I think we talked for about a good 2 or 3 hours, and
Yes.
yeah, on this, and then your husband came in and joined in a little bit at the end.
Mhm.
But one thing about us, and I knew we connected because let me show y'all something real quick. Uh, okay, this right here, blacken that out. But
Please.
yeah. Anyway, go. One thing about that is the name of that screenplay is called Blindsided. Now, I say that for a reason because one thing a lot of people who know you know, but the people who don't know you and familiar with you don't know that you are legally blind. Am I correct?
That's right, Joe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
A
And,
lot of
and
people
that's
are
that's
amazed
what
by that.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that people are amazed by, and like I said, I know you don't talk about it or anything like that because to me, it's not anything to talk about. You're human, just like everybody else does. We all have
Right.
any other things out there, but the reason why I showed you guys that screenplay, the name of it's called Blindsided, was I wrote a screenplay. Me and my writing partner Leslie Henderson, uh, we wrote this screenplay, and it's about a blind artist with the ability to paint murder scenes. Now, in doing that, me, I'm I got to research. I researched the research after I researched while researching it, and I stumbled across synesthesia. Now, synesthesia is basically, or synesty, which is what she would be, is a person who is lacking one of the senses, but all the other senses are enhanced. And it was crazy on when I came across that because it shocked me and it actually drew me to tears because I'm like, man, I was prepared for this moment. You understand what I'm saying? It's like I
Right.
understand because your senses are heightened because of the lack of the other senses, and which is amazing because and everything that I'm saying is true because there are people out there that actually see colors when they hear a note or hear a sound or when they taste a certain food. If they smell a smell, they'll hear something. Or it's crazy on how it works, but abilities are enhanced. Now, did you find yourself? enhanced? Did you feel like, okay, because of this, I can do this, or
Well, you
did you
know what,
stumble
Joe,
across it?
I can say most definitely, because you know how sometimes you feel like disability is actually hindering you. And when I
Hmm.
reflect, when I was younger, I started reflecting. My twin sister and myself, we actually had tubes in our ears when we were toddlers.
Right,
And my mama would say, and I remember we would stand really close to the TV because we couldn't hear. And as I got older, I realized I still had that same issue with hearing. So I would lip read, right?
right,
And as I would have to lip read, that means I would have to focus intuitively on what they were saying and what they were feeling. I couldn't
right.
actually hear them. So my twin sister and myself, we had to wear glasses when we were in school. I was about third grade when I first got my first set of glasses, and they did not help. They gave me
Right,
headaches. I couldn't see
right.
no better. My life wasn't better. And then when I was in my about 23, 24, I thought it was because by this time I think I had about two kids. I was pregnant again, and my vision was failing me. And I had an aunt. She said, "Well, you know, you might want to go get that checked. It might not just be a stigmatism," because she said someone else in the family actually had a disability with their eyes. So that's when I found out I had cornea keratoconus, which is I need two cornea transplants. Okay,
Hmm.
it's a degenerate eye disease. So the cornea began to protrude, and it looks like a cone. So the eye muscle weakens, and the eye loses focus. So a
Hmm.
lot of times I really don't go live just because my eye wanders. And when it
Hmm.
wanders, I think I'm looking at something that I'm not actually looking at, if that makes
Right.
sense.
No, it makes sense.
Then
Hmm.
you look all crazy trying to read the comments and stuff in a live. I don't bother most of the time, but I did notice, yes, um, based off of my eyesight and my hearing, it
Hmm.
actually enabled me to sharpen my other gifts, and I was able to use those other gifts and my senses, if that makes sense.
Yeah, thank you, Lady Hawk, for posting that for me. It's the link she posted in the chat. Appreciate y'all picking that up, and the mods picking that up and posting it. I put all three of them. I put her email address on there. Also, if you want to email her to set up any consultations or something like that, you can email her there. Also, her website, she does have a website. It's Dhuwanna Intuitive Healing.net. It's in the chat also. And the YouTube page is of the same name. All right. Now, and like I said, I told you I wasn't gonna keep you all night. So, because I know you have a family and everything like that. Is your husband there?
Sure, yes, he
Yeah,
is.
cheer. I say, what's going on? Tell him
I,
appreciate. Yeah, appreciate you for allowing you to spend time with us on my flagship
right,
episode of Money Mondays. Oh,
right.
speaking of Money Mondays, there are a couple other businesses that you do also. You want to cover those real quick?
Yes, why not?
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
So,
Hmm.
and so one of the businesses I'm affiliated with is actually Increase University, Increase U. It deals with the forex market, the foreign exchange, cryptocurrency academy as well, and we're really big into sex trafficking and saving lives of women, girls, boys who's actually been in that industry, and they're trying to get their lives back, right? So we use the forex market as a tool. When people sign up, some of the proceeds actually go to kids in shelter. Also, the blind. So we help children in third world countries who are not able to help themselves restore their vision, because that's one thing I know for a fact. When your vision is not where it needs to be, you lack discipline, and you can also lack confidence, right?
Hmm.
And I know as a child how that can affect um, their upbringing, and also it also affects who they are in life. So I'm really excited to be a part of that journey. And then I also deal with 7K metals,
Right.
which is
Hmm.
precious metals, silver and gold bars as well.
Right.
And
Shout
due
out
to a
Kanita.
I
It's
shout out to
Kanita's in there.
Kanita because she's
Yeah, Kanita
also part of
yeah,
7K
she's
metals.
7K medals. Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
so I do multiple income producing activities along with healing, because I believe that all goes hand in hand when you're dealing with generational wealth, right? And in order, and also our health is also our wealth, right? So it's not just our finances; it's us personally, who we
Right.
are.
Mm-hmm.
So once we start cleansing all that stuff, we have better insight, and we have greater direction in the way that we should go. So
Right. Right. Okay. That's Kanita right there. I see you in the chat. I see you in the
hi,
chat.
Kanita.
All right. All right, folks. Again, I want to thank you. Dhuwanna with Dhuwanna Intuitive Healings. Again, her website is in the chat. Her email also. Her YouTube page is in there, and her Instagram is of the same name as well, same spelling in there. She's all over the place. You can't help but trip over. And trust me, she just did a show the other day, yesterday. She just dropped the show yesterday. Very informative, and it's enough to people to drop drop their jaws like, wow, didn't know that. And it's amazing how she can connect your life and tell you your numerology, which is what a lot of us want to know, because a lot of us see these numbers, but we don't know exactly why we see them. We just see them and then we think, oh, good luck, let me go play the lottery. All right, but that doesn't necessarily mean that.
No.
but you
Not
can
at
see
all.
those numbers, right? For example, I told you I kept seeing 623. Now, June the 23rd is the day I joined the military, but that number was the day that's been in my life a lot, 623. And for an example, can you break that down? Because you broke it down for me. So let me give them a breakdown on this, and then we're going to go ahead and cut it short. Because I got one, so I know they want to hear some more about some bond updates and all that other stuff. So
right. And when you mentioned that, first of all, so my birthday is 6/27. And when he mentioned 6/23, I was like, why? Because forever I was like, why am I constantly saying 23? It was harassing me and bothering me, right?
yeah.
And then when he told me, I was like, okay, that's why I keep saying it. So 6 actually represents the finances within the home. It actually represents the love within the home. It represents compassion. It represents nurturing, right? 2 actually represents partnership, diplomacy, bringing balance, right? Just working with people, but it also represents balance, right? Being stable, okay? And then a 3 also represents the ascended masters, right? That would be the higher consciousness which guide us, okay? 3 also represents balance within self, which is the mental, emotional, and spiritual body, right? And the physical body. Think of a triangle and put yourself in that triangle, okay? And there's 3 sides to a triangle. Think about all the components that we actually need to exist and function. We need the physical side, we need the mental side, and we need the spiritual side. So you put yourself in that triangle and you think of bringing balance to all sides, okay?
And when you say that, it reminds me of God, Father, and the Holy Spirit. Father, the Son, and the
That's
Holy
right.
Spirit. That's what it
That's right.
reminds me of. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. The triangle. And wow, this look, like I said, everything leads right back to one thing. Yeah, it's a
It
Father,
does.
Son, and the Holy Spirit. So yeah. But look, I don't want to spoil you guys, because I don't want to give all of her stuff away on my show. All right. Now I see. Look. I see Stacy Green. She says I'm 626, but we're not gonna. We don't want to break you down. Okay.
What she say?
You're gonna go on her show. She says hers is 626. I don't know if that's your birthday or what, but
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
gonna.
6/26. That's her birthday.
I'm not gonna ask you. Nope. Don't answer that question. Don't answer it.
I'm not gonna do it.
Y'all gonna have to log on to her channel when she goes live, and you answer on her channel. All right, because I'm not going to steal all of her glory on my channel. This is hers, and trust me, because I will be on her channel looking just like everyone else, eating my popcorn in awe and in amazement at how she helped someone through something. All right, and if you want to learn more about what she does, log in to Dhuwanna Intuitive Healing on YouTube. Also, Dhuwanna Intuitive Healing on Instagram, and Dhuwanna Intuitive Healing.net. That's her website. And you have merch on there too, right? Yeah,
I
your
do.
shirts and everything. Okay, she sells
And
merchandise and everything like that. She's way ahead of me, because They won't approve me for monetary reasons on here because I'm not monetized, and I haven't been since I started. So I already know that. So, but I can't link my Teespring, so I'm gonna have to go outside of of YouTube to find another distributor for any type of merch I want to make or anything like that if I get into that area. But for right now, I need to get this thing up and running. But other than that, folks, I want everybody to go ahead and give a standing ovation to this young lady. I'm look, my
Are you guys
thing is over
actually
here.
standing?
Yeah, they probably are.
Thank
Look,
you.
they're standing. They're standing. Look, encore.
Right. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, hey, I'll shoot you a text later. And
Okay.
matter of fact, I know I'll probably be able to download it. I'm gonna see if I can put it in a zip file, and I can send it to you if you want to use. That way, you don't try to load screen record or
That's
anything like
perfect.
that. So, and you'll
Yes.
be able to use some clips or something like that for your show. But
I would
other than
love
that,
to.
folks, all right. So let me set up everything like that for my to get into some more money issues, and let me go back to a little bit of music. All right, Dhuwanna, I'll talk to you later.
Thank you for having me, Joe.
No problem. No problem. That was amazing, folks, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Dhuwanna's Intuitive Healing. Like I said, the link is in the chat for her YouTube. It's the same spelling. You spell her name Dhuwanna. Dhuwanna. Trying to set everything up here. Some stuff I wanted to talk about. Now, one of the things I want to talk about with this being Money Mondays is investment. Now, I know you guys have been keeping up with what cryptocurrency has been doing lately, and it's one of those things where you don't know if you should do it or you shouldn't do it. Well, I always recommend that you first you do your research. Now, if you're going to go into cryptocurrency, I'm not a financial advisor, and trust me, don't take my recommendation. But one of them that I see that's going to be backed by gold is XLM and XRP. Uh, Bitcoin is unregulated. Well, they say, well, before XRP and XLM became regulated, they weren't regulated by anything. They had nothing backing it. But now, because of what's going on, because the system is going to switch back over to a gold-backed currency. And with it switching over to a gold-backed currency, my light is messed up over there. Everything's switching over to a gold-backed currency. So that means it'll be backed by gold. So that means that it wouldn't be like the fiat currency we have right now in our pockets. A fiat currency we have in our pockets now is just a promissory note. That's all it is. If I hand you a dollar bill, I promise you that it's worth 100 pennies. Well, to be honest with you, right now, the 100 pennies is way more valuable than the actual dollar bill itself. All right. Now, if you look it up and see how much what the price of copper is, you'll see that the dollar bill is slowly disappearing. And so you might want to check that. But one of the things that I say to get into is silver. Now, I have a coin here. This is one of the coin. This is a buffalo. All right. So the reason why it's buffalo, let me see if I can show it. Can you see it? Yeah, this is a buffalo. Round. This is a round. And there's a buffalo right there. And one of the things about it is right now, this one coin is right at about 27. I think it's like 27 and some change right now, 28 and some change, and it's slowly creeping up. But they've been suppressing it. Now, one clue that they have is the fact that Elon Musk, he pointed at a few things that he was going to do. He invested a lot of money into Bitcoin. I'm talking a few million. He's trying to be a pipe what he's going to do. Now, when I mean by a Pied Piper, is he's trying to play his flute and have everyone follow him over to cryptocurrency. Well, that those people, those what we call them black hats, they don't want you to, because they want you to stay with the paper money. They want to keep you there. But at the same time, and this is what I said. And now, like I said, I listen to Dave, and Dave is dead on about everything. But one of the things I kind of disagree with him with is this. Cryptocurrency came out around 2010. All right. Now, this is about the time that the actual fiat currency, the money that's in your pocket now, is starting to decline, because everyone is recognizing that this money is not worth anything and is drawing up debt. So everything that's associated with that dollar, debt comes with it. Now, I felt like they were introducing the cryptocurrency as a way to transition from the fiat currency to Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin is investor 72, well, I think it was 62, now it's 73 now. It was 62 a couple of months ago. Now I think it's 73% of Bitcoin is owned by China. Now, if China were to get a wild hair and snatch the rug underneath everyone, well, there are going to be a lot of people stuck and not being able to cash in their money. But at the same time, I believe that currency was there. That's the reason why China owns it, because to me, this is my opinion, they were trying to make a transition to a digital currency, which is part of that order that they wanted, of the new world style. And everybody know what I mean when I say that. And because they were going to switch over to a digital currency, that way they could control it. So if you get out of line, they can hit a button and zero out your account. Even if you prove that it wasn't you, oh well, you just don't have any money. They control that. But you don't never want to go to 100% digital. You want to be able to go to the bank. If you want to pull out $1,000, you can pull out 1,000. You want to pull out 10, pull out 10. If you want to pull out $1 million, pull out $1 million. If you got $1 million. I know if I got millionaires watching this here, I got, can a brother borrow just a little $500,000 spot, anyway. But yeah, I believe that they were trying to usher in a full digital currency using that. See, don't forget me. What am I forget you for? I'm gonna bring everybody wherever I go. All right. Yeah. I'm. This is pretty much from that same area with Dave Ramsey. But it's amazing on how it's like it's getting looked over. But I really and truly believe that they were trying to switch over to a digital currency, which was Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin is not backed by anything. That's why you're having so much trouble with Bitcoin now. But now the Federal Reserve, which is no more, remember it got absorbed by the Treasury. And anyway, that's in that world. But everybody think they're trying to create the illusion and give the illusion that they still exist, but they don't. Anyway, they want to come up with a digital currency. So they're trying to get on the same page as everyone else. But if you're afraid and not sure which way you want to go, there's a hubby right there. That's her husband right there. Okay, I'm thinking he was at home. He was at home. Okay, I'm thinking he worked. But yeah. But yeah, the currency and stuff like that. That's pretty much it. Another thing that you can invest in is foreign currency. Now, I ask anyone, if you go to, let's just say you go to London, and they have the pound there, the British pound. Now, you go to London, you have to exchange your currency, American currency, for the pound. Now, what if while you're there, the rate of their currency goes up, and on your way back home, they give you more money back than what you thought you'd get. Instead of getting 20, you get 50. Or instead of getting 20 back, you're expecting to get 20 when you change in, you want to get your 20 back, let's say you get $200 back. It's like, their currency, not saying it happened, but I'm just giving you an idea, because people say, oh man, it's a scam and all this other stuff. No, foreign currency, investing in foreign currency is not a scam. Now, you want to do an exchange. You don't want to invest. You want to do an exchange. And you always want to use those wording too, because you're exchanging your currency. Now, one of the currencies I dabble with, this is Zimbabwe currency. Now, this Zimbabwe currency is, let's see right there. You see that? This is just one bill, so it's 10 billion. And I recommend everybody getting it. It's really cheap. It's you can find that on Banknote World. I'll put it in the chat. And that's one place you can go to. Treasury Vault is another one. And Safe Dinar. Now, all of these currencies right now, from what I'm hearing, it's going to revalue almost any day now, moments now. Like this is Vietnam. This is a Vietnamese. This is a dong, Vietnamese dong, and it's slated to revalue. I'm not sure if you can see. This is basically a $500 that can actually revalue. Now, if you're going to invest, I mean, these are shoebox investment. That's what they call these, because you once you buy them, you stick them in a box somewhere and forget about it. Because when the currency revalues, you'll get word from someone, a bank or something like that, and yeah, I figured it would start buffering when I start talking about something good, something else good, because other stuff is just as good. And also the Iraqi dinar. This is an Iraqi dinar. I know the lighting is bad, but this is Iraqi dinar that I also invest in. Of course, I do have some stocks and all that other stuff, but those investments are safe investments. If you can't go to those sites, your last resort is one of my last resorts. If you can go to a mall and they have a money exchange in there, take $100 and go buy you one of these three. Buy one of those, well, exchange for one of those three. Zimbabwe, Iraqi dinar, or a Vietnamese dong. There's some other ones too, Indonesia rupiah. There's other countries that's actually changing. Their value is supposed to go up. Now, if you remember, like I do, I've been keeping up with it. Trump did a speech once where he said that everyone is going to be on a level playing field. And that's what he meant. That each one of their dollars, like say, for instance, the peso, and everyone knows that the peso is pretty much worthless, but they're going to be brought up to $1. And if you have any pesos, yes, just hold on to them, because that could very well be worth something. Like I say, if you have 500 pesos, that 500 pesos, and it's only worth like 50 cents, could very well be, worth what, 3-4 times of what it is, something like that. So you hold on to your foreign currency if you have some, because everybody's going to be on a even playing field. But this is the catch: the value of their currency is going to reflect the value of their country. Meaning that since they're switching over to a gold-backed currency, everything is going to be based on how much gold that country holds. It's going to be, I think we talked about that once on Amina's show. It's going to be based on, they call it rainbow currency, or your metals. Precious metals is the word I was looking for, which is gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. And then they're going to switch over to these gold-backed currency. Now, like I said, we've shown these images of the bills several times before, but I can't say for sure that these bills are going to hold on, let me open these up. I can't say that these bills are the ones that's going to actually be the ones that's being used, but these are the ones that's actually going around. Okay, let me move that. All right, here's the $100 bill. There's one. Now, this is under a black light, if you see it like this. This is under a black light, so I don't think I put the right one on there. See, these are under black lights because they want to show you some of the security features. But like this is a regular one. This is one without a black light. And they call them rainbow because not because of the colors of the bills or anything like that. It's because what it's backed by. And it's going to be backed by gold, silver, platinum, and palladium, which is why they refer to it as rainbow currency. And it's also in the executive order as well of why why it's called the rainbow currency because of that. But yeah, precious metals is a very good start, and I see the one is on here now. Yeah, and a good place to start. I mean, you can start now and still benefit from it dealing with 7K metals with Dhuwanna or Kanita. One of those two, if you can get in touch with one of those two, and they'll help you. And they'll get to you better than I can because I'll butcher it and I don't want to say the wrong thing. But as far as those are concerned, yeah, go with them and chat with them about it. Now, I said I'm eventually probably cross over to that. But I'm already loaded enough with everything that I want to invest in. I don't want to spend too much money on stuff like that because I'll go broke investing in everything. But a lot of the I'm hitting my thing. Okay. And one thing about StreamYard is I had to bring my curtain all the way up, so it's right on my back. So, but anyway, the bonds. Let me tap on these bonds before I go. Now, some people have gotten their letters back, and of course we expected that, and I know everyone expected that. They expected to say you don't have this, but we have. I'm trying to say this without giving anybody away, getting anybody in trouble, or anything like that. But we have word from a very, 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 did I say very? A very reliable source that everything we've been doing is not in vain. Now, that's all I can say because of this person told us, and he told us to slow it down a little bit because right now there's still some people in the system preventing a lot of this from going on. And they don't want us to find out what's going on with the currency and all this other stuff. And, dealing with social security numbers, dealing with date of birth, birth certificates, and all that other stuff. And there are still people in place preventing it from happening. Now, one of the young ladies got an irate letter back, and no one else had. And I have yet to see anybody else show me an irate letter. And that lets me know that, hold up, if everyone is getting something and is saying something totally different, that means that it's not a system letter. Because you think about it, if it was a system formed letter, the letter would be the same. The heading, everything would be the same. The only thing different would be your name, social security number, and all that other stuff. But if it were different, it would be different letters, which it was. And we wanted to see that. We did want to see that because that tells us that, yes, there are still some people in place preventing this from happening. But here's the catch. This is one thing we discovered. We discovered that we may not even have to do all of that stuff with Treasury Direct. There's a good chance that when this GESARA kicks in, all we have to do is probably verify our information, and this would either will our straw man account to us, or it'll be some, it'll probably be a lot of red tape involved in that, but I think it'll be well worth doing in order to get what's truly yours. And I believe that is going to come down. But yeah, that's why we kind of slowed down on it, because we were asked to slow down on it. Because it's inundating the system, and plus there are some people in place preventing it from happening, and we don't want anybody to miss out on their blessing because of us being super anxious or being overzealous or even being greedy. And put it that way. All right. So just give us just a couple more weeks, because we We think that some things are probably about to pop off within the next 2 to 3 weeks, as far as, as far as Arizona, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Georgia. If you know what I mean by that, I'm not going to get into what I mean by that because they'll give me another strike. Next thing you know, I'm suspended again. Another state paid vacation, a YouTube paid vacation. But just be patient with us. I'm not giving you information and running, and then so people think, oh, you lying, and he stopped talking about it. No, that's not it. All right, because like I said, I don't have a problem showing you my letter. Yeah, I'll pull it up right now, and I'll show it to you. Let me see. I put it. Yeah, I don't have a problem showing it to you. Is this it? Nope. Let me get to it real quick. Bear with me. Okay. Now I blackened out everything, but now look at the letter. Let me blow it up a little bit. I want people to see what it says. It says, this letter refers to your recent transaction or inquiry. Remember, I told you guys, it is an inquiry. This is what it is right here, an inquiry. The records of the double E and I bonds issued in 1974 and therefore are filed and issued date and denominations according to Social Security number is basically saying that I didn't have any. Even though the Social Security number appears on the bond in the asterisk, bonds are filed by the complete Social Security number used to produce the bond. In this case, to get the gift savings bonds, the purchase of the Social Security number may have been used. The actual bond record, the accrual bond record was searched with the following information. And they said, basically, it says they didn't find anything under there, which is fine with me. But I know that something is up with this because of the fact that my letter is different than someone else's. My letter is different than someone else's. And hold on. Okay. Yeah, my letter is a lot different than someone else. So I know that someone's still in place preventing it from happening. And everybody, you know how it is when you exterminate, right? Usually the bigger roaches, the ones that die first, and then the little minions, they'll end up dying off a little bit later, and they'll eventually, you eventually get rid of them. Right now, we're in that stage where we have those little micro roaches crawling around. And you got to get rid of them, right? That little ants and little sugar ants and all that other stuff. After you exterminate, they're going to disappear eventually. But right now, we just have to be patient because blessings don't come instantly. You have to work towards them. You have to do a little bit of work, and you have to have patience. And the moment you prove yourself patient, and you prove yourself worthy, you'll be rewarded to where you can't even. Your cup is not big enough for the blessing that's going to be coming to you. Your cup won't be. But you have to remember, when you get your blessing, be a blessing. You have to bless someone else because not everybody's going to be able to partake in this. Because remember, according to the executive order, it says 75 million people. There's 300 million in the United States. So that's 1/3 of the people here have bonds. All right. So just be patient. When it comes, you receive that blessing, be a blessing because you will lose it faster than you got it. Trust me, you will. It'll get taken away from you so fast, especially because for one, you're dealing with people who out here who are idiots. I'm going to call them idiots, but I had this shop teacher when I was in auto mechanics in high school. He was idiots. He's called idiots. And we have some idiots in the world that would actually try to steal it from you. And they will try to steal it from you, especially when you put a target on your back. But I want to do another build on that when it comes to us when we start receiving it. I'm gonna do a show on what you should do and what you should eliminate. Well, I'll probably do another show beforehand so we can prepare for it. We'll put it that way. Rich, what's going on? I just now seeing you in here. Uh, uh, yeah, I want to do a show and just to prepare you to make good decisions once this blessing starts coming, because you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared. And I don't mean go to the hood with gold chains about as thick as, Mr. T, and driving around with a car with, your rims sticking 10 miles out each direction or something like that. Or you got a candy coated car and you Gucci down and all this other stuff. No, if you notice a lot of millionaires, you don't even know that they're millionaires. And you have to be that way. You have to be incognito in your lifestyle, for the simple fact that people will hunt you down. They will stalk you. Their goal is to take what you have because they don't want to work for it. It's funny because I arrested this guy once and he said, we were working in this and we had to go to work on this. And I'm like, you had to go to work. He's like, yeah, we had to go to work. We had to go hit these spots up and all that. And I'm like, so you consider going to break in cars a job? That's crazy because they do. They consider breaking in cars a job. So they go to work. Anyway, and I said, you know what? I'm going to end this show tonight. I'm going to tell you. I told you I was going to tell y'all, a story every now and then about my policing days. And I'm not sure if I even told you guys this, right? But there was this day. Yeah, I did tell you one. I didn't tell you this one. I'm probably 8 months in. We're on the streets training. My trainer, which I'm not going to say her name, and I don't want to disrespect her or anything like that. She's still a sweet woman and everything like that. Everything happened the way it happened because of, just taking it for granted. Now, being a police officer, you can't take any moment for granted because you never know which moment will be your last moment. And like I tell people, I have a praying mother and father, and my sister prayed just as hard too. She's here in the chat too somewhere. Baby girl, that's my sister. And you'll know that I don't even know if my mother's on here. So sometimes my mother jumps on here every now and then, and it shocks me how she's figuring it out. My mother's figuring it out. And anyway, we're driving down the street. This is downtown, right? And this area is predominantly Hispanic in this area that's on the north side of downtown. And we're driving down the street. A kid she recognizes walking down the street. So we pull over to him. She said, well, she talks to him outside of the car. Where are you headed to? He said he was headed back home. She said, why are you not in school? He said, I was suspended. Well, you can't be out in public. When you're supposed to be in school, you're suspended. You're supposed to be at home. It's truancy. Anyway, it's a truancy violation. So I jump out of the car and was getting ready to search him. And she said, no, just go ahead, get in the car, and we'll take him over here to the side and see if Shepard was a sergeant that was he was over the juvenile truancy in that area. So he jumped in the car. Mind you, we didn't search for anything. And we go to where the truancy officer is. So we get there and he's like, oh, you know what? No, he was supposed to be at home. Go ahead and put them cuffs on him and take him on in. We're going to run him through the system. I pulled this guy out of the car and this guy had 2 guns on him. He had 2 guns on him. One here, one here in his waistband, right? Like this is like the Wild West, OK Corral. All right. Now that could have went totally wrong because I wasn't trained properly because I was getting out of the car to search him and I would have found it then. But she knew the kid and felt like he was okay. And that could have went south. And I'm talking about it could have went south at just 20 miles an hour. It could have. But every officer, every situation is different for a police officer. Now I did a show talking about the young lady the 16-year-old that was shot because she was getting ready to stab another young lady. And I keep trying to tell you guys, listen to what the media is telling you and how they are twisting stories. They want you to follow agendas. And just in that, they in the title of that, officer shoots 16-year-old. They didn't say the 16-year-old was about to stab another young lady. He just saved the girl's life. Yes, he had to take a life, but he saved a life. And to me, it was justified. But at the same time, this dude has to, live with the media giving him so much heat because he shot the other young lady, which was for 4 seconds. She was a suspect. She wasn't 16 years old. She was a suspect for 4 seconds. Now, I challenge any of you guys to make a decision like that in 4 seconds is all he had. It was 10 seconds from him getting out of the car and getting into the scene, and then it was 4 seconds before he shot. 2 of those seconds, he determined that she had a gun in her hand, and he shot her 4 times, hitting her 4 times. Listen to what I just said. 10 seconds to get out of the car, walk around, shot the young lady 4 times. He determined in 4 seconds that she had a knife, and he hit her each time. That should be Officer of the Year. Because he could have hit the young lady in the pink. And think there were people behind the car too. He could have actually hit them too. But he hit her. So I don't know. I don't know what people want or what people say. It's all media. Perfect example. This week was just released about a gentleman being killed in Louisiana. Yes, officers were wrong in that situation. But don't y'all think the timing is just a little strange, releasing it right now and releasing a lot of the audio, stirring up the people in the area? Don't y'all think that's a little bit strange? Now, if y'all believe this racial agenda stuff, then hey, go ahead and do what you need to do. But one thing I am going to tell you, these people are getting bonded out. They still have to go to court. Yeah, they don't have to sit in jail for that time, but they still have to come back and go to court for this. And this is going to come back to roost. They're going to come back to roost. The hen's going to come back to roost. I can't remember the analogy. Anyway, it go. They're going to have to pay the piper. All these people that are getting caught and arrested for causing all of this damage, they're going to have to answer for this. And know this: any blessing from the Nasera Jacera that we have coming to us is not coming to them. I can almost guarantee you that money is going to get moved to those buildings that you burned down, those families who lost loved ones because of this. So think twice when y'all accept that job to be a actor in this fake movie that they're doing. They want these actors, these victims. That I forgot what you call the word. What's the word I'm looking for? Crisis actors is what they're called. That's what they are. Think twice about that because it could come back to haunt you. Anyway, folks, that's it for today. I want to thank again Dhuwanna's Intuitive Healing. If you can, go to her page, give her a follow, just to set up and get ready for her shows because she's starting to double up the shows and putting them out there now. You have questions about the numbers. You have questions about the healing that she does. The emotional healing side, because she sees it. She does see it. Her senses are enhanced. And she broke me down like I was just a puzzle. She just took me all apart and put me back together. And I appreciate that. So until next week, you know what? And the thing about it is I think next week what I'm going to do is I'm going to have another person, but I'm going to have a person in the hole. That way, at the end of the show, I can announce the name of the next person that'll be in the following Monday. All right. So I'm gonna have to go in tonight and thumb through my my Instagram and track down some other businesses or anything like that. If you don't follow me, it's Black Pill Red on Black Pill Red on YouTube. I have Black Pill Test on here. I put test on there because I was going to test the system first to make sure I can go live and all of that stuff because they had me suspended. But yeah, it's back up. I forgot to change that. And I'm just now seeing it at the end of the show. Anyway, that'll be it for today, folks. Like, subscribe, share, pass it on, rewind, rewatch it. Maybe a question that we answered is there. And if you don't see a question that you want to see, go to her page. Watch the show from last night because it was actually a good show last night. and she breaks it down for you. And if you have any questions, remember, check her email. It's in the chat. She's also on IG. She probably answer IG a little quicker than the email, like I do. All right, and when I'm able to get to my IG, I'll do that. But go ahead, give her a like, give her a subscribe, and share her page. And until next week, the next Monday, Money Mondays for next week, I'll see you guys next week. All right.